so predictable. I hate people like you. Here we go.
断る、立つ、断。
断る、立つ、断. No, you know what? I'm gonna change the thickness of my marker for practice. No. 断る、立つ、断. Decision. Turn down. Yep, decline decision.
即、速やか、早い。
即、速やか、早い. Nope. Fast.
印刷の札、する。
Oh, yeah, that's a good sound. 印刷の札、する. Print.
雑誌の誌。
雑誌の誌. That bottom part's really ugly. Magazine.
昨日の昨。
Okay. Previous day. 昨日の昨.
電化製品のせい。
電化製品のせい. Okay. Nice. This is manufactured in, made in.
夜、寄せる、木。
夜寄せる木. Okay, this is this. And this is to move towards, draw near.
面接の接。
面接の接. Okay. Connection, contact.
隅、単。
Sumi, tan. Okay, I think this is like tansui kabutsu. Nice. Sumi tan. This means like charcoal? Yeah, charcoal.
技、技。
Wazagi. This is like a skill, ability.
ロー、オイル、ふける。
Old.
想像の想。
Oh shit. Okay. This is like to imagine. I think this is right. Yes. Image.
計算の算。
計算の算. Calculate. That doesn't look right. That's better. 計算の算. Calculate.
王様の王。
王様. King.
演劇の演。
Oh shit. Okay, Anki can end. This is like drama to perform in a play. yet.
Sho. Sousa no so.
I think this is. I think that's right. Hold on, just one more time. Looking good so far. Let's check the stroke order on this bad boy. See what we got. Good stuff to search.
極める、極、極。回、改める、改まる。
Okay, shoot. Do I remember this one? I think it's just reversed. Come on. There we go.
こう、降る、降りる。
こう降る、降りる to fall. 武士の士、侍。武士の士、侍。
はい、拝む。
はい、拝む。Okay. Just to worship. Nice.
検査の差。
検査の差。Investigate? Nice.
詰める、詰め、きつ、きち。
Cram-packed. Ah, shoot. First one wrong today.
どう、勤める。
と、勤める。Okay, this is like,努力. That, exert.
1億の億。
1億の億、100 million.
涼、涼しい。
Cool.
増、増える、ます。
増、増える、ます。This means to increase.
深、深い。
深深い. This means deep. But how the hell do you write this? Is it this? Look at that, we're doing it. Shin fukai, deep.
変、型。
変、型. Fragmented or one-sided.
暖、暖かい。
Warm.
比べる日
To compare. 比べる日.
さまよ
Sama yo. Honorific way of calling somebody. Formal title.
う雇う子
Yato ko, to employ.
支えるし
Support. Branch.
小照れる照らす
Bashful.
映像の像
Eizo no zo. Okay, to reflect. Okay. Image. Not reflect. Image. Eizo gazo.
向く向かうこう
Okay. To turn towards.
機械の械
Kikai no kai. Okay, shit. I think this is machine, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh, shit. I wrote Kikai no ki. This should have been this. Oh, let's super spread out. Let's try it one more time. That's a dumb mistake. Kato no to Fuji. So this is one of the new ones I learned. Kato no to Fuji. Don't remember what it looks like. Okay, let's write this. Kato no to Fuji. This means like wisteria, the flower. Kato no to. Conflict, complication. Kato.
自宅の宅
Jitaku no taku. This means like home.
角角角
Angle, corner.
柱柱
Pillar, I think. Pillar, yes. Chu hashira.
左翼の区
Sakyoku no ku. Shit, I think it's that. Is that right? Yeah, let me double check that stroke order. Yeah, nice. So this is like a ward of a city. Ku. District. Kato no to Fuji. Okay, again, this is that wisteria kanji. Kato no to Fuji.
腕
This means like arm or ability. I totally forgot how to write this. blanking. Damn it. Okay. Kind of had the right idea, but it's wrong. Okay. It's been so long since I've written this. Watch. It's going to be like over a month on this one. 1.5 month streak. That's crazy. Arm, talent, ability.
Sumu, sumasu, sai.
This means like support, relief. Let's see if I can write this. Sumu, sumasu, sai. Nice.
Hokoku no koku.
To report. Wait a minute. That's not right. It's this. Kind of ugly though, huh? Yeah, it's better. Okay. Nice.
Hasamu, kyo, sho.
Alright, this is like the pinch. Is that right? Cool. Pinch or hasami are like scissors. Hasamu kyo ko. Oh no. Hasamu kyo sho. Alright.
Go, ayamaru.
To apologize, make a mistake. Gokai, mistake. Bushi no shi, samurai. Bushi no shi, samurai. Cool.
Iwai, shuku, shu.
This means like holiday, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Alright, good stuff. Iwai shuku shu. Holiday, celebrate. Iwai shukujitsu.
Totsu, tsuku.
Okay, this is like a pinch. Totsu, tsuku. Stab, not pinch. Stab, prick. Just remember stab. Why is that so hard to remember?
Tsumeru, tsume, kitsu, kichi.
Okay. Cram.
Matsurigoto, sei, shou.
What's going on, Will? Yes, sir, I am. We're still grinding. And in fact, as of day before yesterday, we've started studying N1 kanji as well. And I know my original thing was to get a book, but I found this incredible website, like amazing website that I've been using. Highly recommend it. There's a free version and the paid version. And it's this website on my tabs at the top left. I just realized that I'm sharing like the wrong screen on here. Hold up. Let me get the right page on there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay. And it's this website right here, Kanshudo, at the top left, if you can see on the tabs. And this website has like stroke order, pronunciations, words associated with the kanji. Like, it's so good. And then if you get the paid version, you can download like PDF versions of these. You can create like flashcards and do all that stuff. And it's only like $5 or $6 a month. Like, that's amazing. So right now I'm trying out just the free. But if I like it, I'm gonna upgrade to the paid version for sure, because I'd rather have something that's interactive and portable, like on the go. So I'm really happy I could find a website like that. Highly recommend it if you're into studying. And it has them all divided up by the way I like them, by the Joyo kanji, and you can just click which one you want, and it'll take you to the screen to study. Really cool stuff. Yes, check it out. Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely. Really recommend it.
Da, utsu.
Da utsu. No, that's not right. Wait, is that right? Yeah, I think it is right. So that. Now it's a hit strike.
世界の会。
世界の会 world.
G、時。
G toki time. Tenjo no shou sei I. Oh yeah, this is this one. Tenjo no shou sei I. Tenjo no shou sei I. Ido, water well. Yusei is oil well. Okay.
機械の会。
機械のkai machine.
Shitsumon no mon. To.
Shitsumon no mon, so like question.
Bo, haha, mo.
Bo haha mo is like mother. Did I get that stroke order right? I don't know why this kanji gives me so much trouble. Like, the kanji for mom. Like, I can always write it, but I always doubt whether or not the stroke order is right. Dot dot line. Yes, alright, we're good. Bo haha mo, mother.
So, 走る。
So hashiru. Okay, this means to run. Alright.
Sen, saki, mazu.
Sen saki mazu. Okay, this means beforehand, previous, ahead. And hey, Will, I'm not sure if... So I've made a couple more adjustments. I've tuned my mic a little bit, so the voice should be technically sounding a little bit clearer. And I've tuned the audio a little bit to balance it, so it doesn't pick up like the speaker of my recording, and you actually just get a very clear type of pronunciation of the card.
Sen, saki, mazu.
Is everything sounding okay, you think? How are the tweaks doing so far?
Boshi no bo.
Boshi no bo. Headgear. Kato no to. Fuji. This is one of the new ones. I think everything's good. Oh, dude, awesome. Cool. Now the last thing I gotta do is create a little thumbnail for my streams. Right now, I just let it default to whatever is like on there, and it creates like it's just a big snapshot of the stream itself. But I want to create a nice little pretty thumbnail for people that might want to click and actually check it out. So I'll probably be doing that this weekend, along with the new video as well. By the way, if you haven't checked out my latest video on the JET program, highly recommend it. Fuji, to, wisteria. Katto means conflict.
One, 腕
One ude. Arm ability.
上、上、上、上げる、上る
Jo, ue, kami, ageru, noboru. Cool. Above, high level. Jozu, ue, wabaki, ageru.
5、こう、後、後ろ
Oh, okay. Just like behind. Wait. Is that right? Something doesn't look right here. Oh, no, so close. I got it wrong. Okay. It's like this, then it's this thing, then it's that. Okay. So this is before or even after. No, this is after. Go later in the afternoon. Ushiro behind. Atode later.
ま、磨く
Migaku polish brush. All right.
バク、麦
Wheat, barley? No. Sweet.
東、東
To, higashi, like east. Like Tokyo. To.
四、四、四つ
Shiyon, this just means four. I'm doubting myself, so I'm going to check the stroke order on this real quick. Nice. All right, four.
ほう、離す、離れる
Ho hanasu hanareru, to let go. Is that right? Yes. Ho hanasu hanareru, to let go, to separate. Kaiho suru, to release. This is often used in anime for sure. Like especially animes that have like spells or like trances where they can like do like kai. They'll say like I don't know for sure in Naruto they use kai a lot, but kaiho suru means to release from some sort of spell or something.
燃、燃える、燃やす
Nen moiru moyasu, to burn. How the hell do you write this? Oh yeah. Sweet. Will, do you watch anime? I always give anime references because one, I like anime, but then second, like I'm assuming a lot of people have at least that are interested in Japanese, at least have some sort of connection to it. I know some don't, but I tend to believe that a lot of people do. Do you tend to watch any anime or anything like that? Nen moiru moyasu. Kanen, flammable.
社会の社、社
Shakai no sha. Yashiro. this one go again? Why am I forgetting such a simple kanji? I know that this side had... It's not this, because I think this is... Oh, it is that. Nice. But I'm going to get this wrong because I felt like I had no confidence when I answered this question. Shakai no sha. Yashiro.
Shu, fune.
I just started watching anime a couple... Oh, dude, that's pretty cool. What are you watching these days? Fuck, I accidentally looked at the screen. Damn it. Okay. That's instant DQ for me.
Shu, fune.
Even though I know this one. Okay. Boat. Shu fune. Edo no e. Ko. Edo no e. Ko. Hunter x Hunter and Demons. Oh, dude. So, I've been meaning to watch Hunter x Hunter. I always like have a hard time starting new anime because I'm just like, it's a commitment, especially when it's like a long shonen series. So this person, that's my girlfriend in the chat. So thanks for watching my. But Hunter x Hunter is one that I've always been meaning to watch. Demon Slayer is awesome for sure. 前もしかしてずっと見てた？嬉しいな。Stream 高校 Edo. My favorite? Oh, that's hard, man. So I do love One Piece. I do love One Piece. I love Naruto. Naruto's amazing. One Piece is hard because it's such a long commitment. So if you like watching maybe like one long, because I know Hunter x Hunter is relatively long, but if you like watching like one long one, but then also some short ones here and there, there's some really good ones. Like I love this one called, let me just type it in the chat. I love watching this one, Bakemonogatari. That's really, really good. What else is there that I've watched recently? Oh, this is another shonen one. So Bakemonogatari is like less of a shonen, more of like a kind of like a sci-fi, not sci-fi, more like myth-based, mythology-based. My Hero Academy. This is a good one. This is one that's running right now, so that's really good. Attack on Titan is really good. These are three of my kind of faves. I love these. Bakemonogatari is only like 12 episodes, so if you want a short kind of quick one, that's really good. My Hero Academy and Attack on Titan are still running, and both of them are really, really good. Tenjou no shou sei I. Tenjou no shou sei I. Tenjou. Yusei Ido.
Doku, hitori.
Doku hitori. Oh, okay. Shit. How did this one go again? Is this it? Single. Individual. Hitoribochi. Dokushin. Nice, we got it.
Shufu no fu.
Shufu no fu. This is like a housewife? Shoot, I got it wrong. I did Suma. My bad. I thought housewife and I just wrote Suma by accident. Shufu no fu. Is that right? Now I've lost all confidence to do it. Shufu no fu. A woman. Okay. Let's try again.
Rin, Hayashi.
Rin, Hayashi. This just means forest, woods.
Gaku, raku, tanoshii.
Gaku, raku, tanoshii. Fun. Okay. Are you into any other Japanese shows, movies besides... Oh, man. So, I'm not, man. I wish I was. I've tried watching dramas before. Um, it's hard for me to get into them. Uh, yeah, I don't have much else to offer on that, man. I wish I did. I'm not into like Japanese music or TV shows or anything like that. I should get into them, to be honest with you. I watched one recently. What the hell was it called? It was called前なんだっけその俺たちが見てたドラマの名前 Oh, I forgot. It was like a detective show, and it was really good. Um, I wish I could remember the name, dude. ちょっと前まだいたらもしまだいたら教えてくれ。なんだっけ Okay. Miu. Miu. So that was a good one. I like that one a lot. I'm not sure if you'll have. I didn't see that released with subtitles. Like I really wish I could find it with subtitles. But that's a really good one. It's like a show about like these guys are like in a murder investigation unit or something like that. And or not even murder. I think it's like crime investigation, murder investigation. That's a really good one. Highly recommend that one. But other than that, unfortunately I don't have much to offer when it comes to shows and movies, to be honest with you. Kind of wish I did though.
太陽のよう
Taiyo no yo. Okay, this is like sunshine.
Koku, kuni.
Koku Kuni's country. That is so ugly. I cannot believe I wrote something that ugly. Hold on. Lately I've been into Korean movies. Kind of makes me want to study Korean. Oh, dude. Korean. So this is going to be weird. I went through like a Korean drama. I don't call it phase because a group of my friends would do like a Sunday Korean night, like where we watch dramas together. I only lasted like a month, but Korean dramas are pretty good too. So I don't blame you, man. Hey, as long as the content is good, right? You'd want to check it out. And I know firsthand that I had some good experiences with Korean dramas, so they're actually very popular in Japan too.
後、後、後、後ろ
Behind, after.
一匹の引き、筆
Ah, shit. What was this again? Oh, there we go. Counter for small animals. Only problem is they are too long. Korean dramas, they're long? Really? I didn't even realize that. I like dramas that are like it's sad and it sucks when you finish it, but they're like the ones that are like 10, 12 episodes, the short story ones. I feel like they do a good job.
午前の午、馬
Afternoon goes in no go.
西、西、西
Seisai Nishi. Oh my god, Javi, what's up, dude? We got Javi in the chat. Javi and Mai. That's pretty cool. Aitai. Javi ni mo aitai. Damn it, I looked at the screen again. I gotta stop doing that. Okay. Let me see if I can write it at least. Get the stroke order right. Okay. Seisai Nishi. This is west.
土、と、土
Do to tsuchi. This is like dirt, land.
Nebo no bo
Nebo no bo. Nebo means oversleep. This word means boy priest. I don't understand.
低、低い
Te hikui, okay, this means low. Pretty good, alright. But I always miss this part. It's a little up, little leg. I gotta get that better at that. Te hikui, low.
Shi, ane.
Shi ane, this means like older sister. Nice. Shimai, sisters.
Shakai no sha, yashiro.
Shakai no sha, yashiro. Is that right? Korean is easier to read and write, but harder to speak. Japanese is easy to speak, but harder to read. You know, I totally agree, Javi. I remember back when I was living in Japan, I had like 2 weeks of downtime because the kids were taking finals and I don't really do anything during that time. I was like, you know, I think I want to learn the Korean alphabet. And in those 2 weeks, I learned how to read the Korean alphabet. So it definitely is nice to have. The cool thing about the Korean alphabet is like English, it's a vowel consonant based, you put things together type of alphabet. Whereas, as you can see with Japanese, it's literally just grinding, memorizing a bunch of characters. So I do miss that. I do like that about Korean for sure. It sounds super adorable too when the girls are speaking it.
Shu, fune.
Shu fune, like boat.
Byo, yamu.
Bio yamu, sickness. You can learn it in 10 minutes. Yuna taught me on a napkin at a restaurant. But you hate speaking it? It'd be cool to learn Korean too, honestly. That sounds like a cool language to learn. She is only used for the word she, might. Okay, thank you, Mai. So this is why it's so nice to have a Japanese reference, by the way, guys, because the dictionary will have like literally every pronunciation of the word. You know what I'm saying? And I'll memorize it. I'll do something, but Mai will often tell me like, oh, by the way, that's not how you use it, or you don't have to use that word because we never use it that way. And then I can just be like, all right, I don't have to remember it. So it's a luxury, but it definitely helps to have some sort of connection reference. Or honestly, this website, Kanji, though, that I found, I bet you anything that'll tell me like, hey, you know, yeah, you can read it as ane, but you don't have to write it that way. Javi, how did you find the stream? Did you just log into YouTube and see it, or? Bio. Yamu. To fall ill. Edo no e. Ko. Edo no e. Ko. Koko. You saw a link on Facebook? Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's weird. How's it on Facebook? Did I post it on Facebook? I know I posted we just got your IM. I know I posted on my recent video about Jet on my Facebook page, but I didn't realize that my stream links were going up too. That's kind of crazy.
Ka, ie, uchi.
Ka ie uchi means like house, family. That's not right. Ka ie uchi. Nice. Kazoku ie.
Ryo, tabi.
Ryo tabi. Travel trip. Come on, man. One problem I have when I'm writing is I often I'm so focused on getting each part right. Like, for example, right? I write this one and then I write that one. And because I'm writing them as two like I'm thinking of them as two separate things. I tend to space them too far out. So I gotta work on that. See, that looks a lot better. All right. Ryo tabi. So this is like ryo and yoko. And then tabi by itself just means trip.
主婦の婦
Shufu no fu. Okay. Housewife again. No, this is... Shufu means housewife. But... that would be this. Fu by itself just means woman. Nice.
旦那男
Annan otoko means like man. Alright, good stuff.
北北
Hoku kita. This means north. We're on a little streak here. I don't want to speak too soon. We're doing pretty good.
旧急ぐ
Kyu isogu, to hurry. That's not right. How the hell does it go again? Ah, as soon as I said that, I jinxed myself. I can't remember how to write isogu. Is that right? Oh, pretty close, but no cigar. Okay. James, do you ever feel like your penmanship goes down as you study? Oh man, James, my penmanship already is a 0. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Whether it's Japanese or English or whatever, I have just terrible handwriting. And weirdly enough, because I'm kind of conscious of having bad handwriting, I tend to focus on making my writing in Japanese cleaner. But the problem is, it's like, you know, whereas with letters, like if I want to try to make the alphabet clean, right? So if I write my name, I'm going to be, all right, I'm going to stay within the lines. I know how to write these words. And boom. That still looks kind of crappy, but whatever. The problem is with Japanese, like good penmanship comes with not only how, like, you know, clear you've written the letters, but also like the balance of the characters. And that's something I struggle with. As someone who just naturally doesn't have a sense for like scale and art and stuff like that, like my writing tends to be kind of weird, stretched out or crunched up looking compared to like, you know, someone in Japan with good penmanship. So that's a good question. But yeah, as I'm practicing though, it definitely goes down because my goal is just to know how to write it. I try to be a little conscious on the stream so people that are watching can at least somewhat make out what I've written. But it does definitely take a hit for me when I'm writing the same character over and over again.
防防ぐ
Bo fusegu. Okay, this means to prevent. Protect, prevent.
高高い
Ko takai, expensive, high.
貿易の貿
Boeki no. What the hell is this again? Boeki. I think that's trade. Let's write this again. See, this is what happens when I fail or give up. I just start over. This is what's nice about having an iPad, is that you can just erase it and not have to look at the terrible monstrosity that you've written. You know what I'm saying? If it was just a pen and paper, I'd have to scribble it out or something. Boeki no bo, to trade. Exchange.
せい、さい、にし。
せ、さい、にし west.
超、おさ、長い。
超、おさ、長い okay. Long or leader.
即、足、足りる。
Soku, ashi, tariru. Leg. Enough.
認、認める。
Oh shoot. Nin mitomeru. How does this go again? It means to recognize. Okay, I think it's this. Yes. Nin mitomeru. To recognize. Kakunin.
咲く、さ、作る。
Saku, sa, tsukuru. To make.
売、売る。
Buy, uru. To sell. Nice. We're heating up.
法律の律。
法律の律 law.
毒ガスの毒。
Poison.
脳、悩む。
No, nayamu. This is like to be lost, to worry. Yeah, worry, trouble. Kinchou no chou, haru. Oh, this is one of the new ones, the new N ones from yesterday, N1 kanjis from yesterday. How do I write this again? Kinchou no chou haru. Okay. One way I can remember this is we just did this kanji. I'm going to scroll up here a little bit. This one. And this kanji is read as cho nagai, right? So going back down, kincho no cho, it has the same character in there. So that's a way for me to use that as like a mnemonic to help remember this. Kincho no cho has the kanji for cho nagai in it. And then haru. Stretch. Gambaru. That's where the haru comes in. It's conjugated to the gan. And then ha becomes ba. Gambaru. Good stuff.
学、学ぶ。
Kaku manabu, to learn.
Jin, nin, hito.
What? Oh, what did I do? Press the wrong button.
Jin, nin, hito.
Oh, this is a simple one. Just means person. Jin nin hito.
Nin, 任せる。
Nin makase. Okay, this means to entrust. Okay. I'm going to be super nitpicky here. And I'm going to mark this as wrong, even though it looks right. But I made the mistake of making this bottom line longer than the middle line, when it should be like this. It's kind of ugly. Try again. Right? So I gotta be more careful about stuff like that. So because of that, it is out. Kinchou no chou haru. Kinchou no chou haru. Okay, again, this is the one we just did. Stretch. Jietai no e. Jietai no e. Okay. defense. 自衛隊の A 保つ 保つ What the hell was this again? 保つ Ah, shoot, okay. By the way, ever since I started streaming, I haven't really tried to learn new kanji. It's been a review pretty much this whole time of all N2 and below, so like 1,000 or so characters. Now I'm going to be learning N1 characters, so there's going to be instances of me getting the same character wrong over and over again, and that's normal, for me at least, when I'm studying, just because it takes a while for me to be able to associate the character, the stroke order, and the meaning and sound of the word together. That consolidation part takes time and repetition. So you might see me miss the same character over and over again in the same study session. You'll probably see me miss the same character over and over again, like day by day as I study. And that's just how it goes. Eventually, I'm sure it's going to click just like every character so far has. But that's just like a normal way of development for me. And I'm sure others as well when you're studying. So it's not something to get disheartened by. It's just one of those things. Ho tamotsu. Ho tamotsu. So this is something I got right a couple of days ago, then I got wrong today. Protect. 義務教育の義。義務教育の義。There's a lot going on in this kanji, huh? Good stuff. Duty. Obligation. So, funny story about this word right here. I talked about it in the chat yesterday, but this is a word, like, whenever you use mnemonics, right, you want to use, there's like a 2 priority process, or 3 priority process in my brain for mnemonics, or not mnemonics, but more like vocabulary words associated with the reading of a kanji. So, you never want to just remember a kanji by itself, like just the sounds of it. Like if it was this kanji, 義務教育の義. I don't want to remember the kanji as this gi, because there's tens, if not more, kanji that just have the pronunciation gi. You want to be able to know which gi it is, like associate it with the word. And in my opinion, there's like a 3 priority system that works best. Number 1 priority is a word that you have a connection or familiarity with. Right? A word that you might hear a lot in a TV show you watch, or you might see in the textbook a lot. The second priority level is a word that you just straight up know. Like, it's a word that I know. And the third priority, which is the lowest one, but it has its own positives, is a word that you don't know. And that's going to be the hardest one, but you'll be killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because you'll be learning a new vocabulary word as well as a new kanji. But that learning process, in my experience, takes the longest amount of time. Now, the reason I like, as opposed to, the reason why number 2 is a word that you know and not number 1 is because when you have a sort of connection with a word, it tends to stick in your brain more. So, gimu kyoiku the kanji looks insane. It's like a yoji jukugo. It's like a 4 compound kanji. And in normal circumstances, one wouldn't try to remember a pronunciation with the 4 kanji word for pronunciation. But when I was living and working in Japan, I worked I worked in English language, and of course, studying, curriculum, these type of words are common, right? Gimu kyoiku means compulsory education, and I just heard that word like all the time, whether it was in the teacher's office, whether it was in the classroom, whether it was in textbooks, everywhere this word would appear. So whenever I hear this word, I immediately flash back to Japan, and that emotional memory connection instantly helps me kind of remember this word. So that's, in my opinion, the best way to go about remembering the pronunciations of a character. And when you have that kind of emotional connection, it helps writing it more too, because it kind of brings everything full circle, at least in my experience.
9. 急ぐ.
Alright, so we just got this one wrong earlier, right? So we're not going to get it wrong today, though. Not today. Again. 急ぐ, to hurry. Shi, uji. What? Shi, uji. Shi, uji. Okay, I think this means like family name. And I think that's it. Nice. Shi, uji.
Doku, yomu.
Doku, yomu, to read. Yaro no ro. Yaro no ro. Good stuff. This is one of the new N1 kanjis I learned. And I used a familiar yet funny word to learn this kanji. So typically, yaro is like, you might have heard it if you watch any anime or if you watch any sort of Japanese related content, to be like, kono yaro or something like that. That's not written in kanji normally. But I found out through studying that it technically has a kanji. And so because it's like a word I know, it's funny, it helped just click to me and remember the stroke order of the kanji. So that's how I usually do it. It's also very common kanji in like names I've seen.
Rai, kuru, kitasu.
Rai, kuru, kitasu, to come. That's just, see, James, back to your point, if you're still here, this is what I meant by like my balance is just terrible. I got all the strokes right, but that was just horrendous. So I have to focus more on trying to keep it within the confines of this line. I try to use 2 lines and then balance it that way. So it would be something like, see, that looks much better. I just don't have that natural sense, man.
Shoku, ku, taberu.
Shoku, ku, taberu. This means to eat.
Sho, kaku.
Shokaku. Oh, shoot. How does this one go again? Is that right? Oh, damn, we got it right. Okay. It's exciting. Good stuff. Terribly written, but for now, I'm just happy I got the stroke order right. Do native Japanese speakers, writers, just get that balance through repetition as kids in school? Oh, that's a good question. So, they're taught, yes, they are taught to write with balance through repetition, but also very systematically. So, like, when they're writing a kanji, like, they'll use, like, writing textbooks that are like this. Like, they'll have a square, right? And then in the square, like, let's say you want to write the kanji for watashi, which is self, right? They'll have a square that has something like this. Like, they'll have something like that. And so they know that they have to, and obviously I still wrote it. Look, I still wrote it terrible. Look at all this space. I literally drew myself a box and I still didn't write it with good balance. But they know that they have to write it like that. And they're taught in a sense where if they have a kanji is written with the wrong balance, they'll be marked wrong. And so, and of course, if they're recommend, I'm not sure if they're required. I think they are required until a certain level. But they have to take the kanji kente exam, which is like the kanji proficiency exam. It's like schools might require it. Some schools require it, some schools don't. But that's another one. That's not a computerized test. Like, that's a handwritten test. And if the balance is off, even if the strokes are there and everything looks okay otherwise, you're gonna get marked wrong. So it's very much drilled into them. Now, that is not to say that every Japanese person writes clearly, as I had to painfully learn myself. Like, a lot of times, like, the students knew I could speak Japanese. They also knew that they understand that kanji isn't exactly the most foreigner friendly writing script, right? But I had some students that like when they would write me like an essay or something like that I'd be checking, and they're just like, dude, this is what I want to say in English, and they would write it in English, underline it in red, and then write me like a little like a note on the side in kanji or in Japanese. And of course that means there would be some kanji in there. And I've been able to read kanji, but my focus is not only by these study sessions to read, but also learn how to write. But as far as just reading goes, I've been okay to read for a few years. And but every once in a while I'd come across a student's handwriting. I was just like, dude, I literally have no idea what this guy's writing. Like, I cannot understand it. And I'm sure with English it's the same way. So, remember how in school you were taught to write, like, you'd have the two lines like this, and you'd have to write like, okay, A, B, like that. So we're taught that too, and the teachers in first and second grade are kind of strict about it, but eventually they're like, dude, I want you to write this essay. I don't care about it, how neat it is, just write it. You know what I'm saying? So I figure it's kind of similar in that respect, but they very much are taught a little more strictly than we are to write with balanced and relatively neat, legible handwriting. Good question.
に任せる
All right. This is the one I marked myself wrong as earlier because I made the bottom line too long. There we go. に任せる to entrust. 緊張の張春 緊張の張 okay. And I'm going to remember it because it has 張長い in it. Remember? We're going to use that mnemonic to help us remember this. By the way, that flapping was my dog in the background. He's just kind of chilling right now. What was the meaning of this kanji? Stretch. It was stretch. Nice. 自衛隊の A. Oh, dude, I just got this one wrong. It means defense, but how the hell do you write it again? Oh yeah, I think I got it. Nice. Good stuff. Defense. 保保つ 保つ This means to protect, like hoken, insurance. Tamotsu means to protect, but I feel like the more common word for protect is mamoru. And if I remember correctly, the kanji is this. That's mamoru, but I guess tamotsu means protect as well. Matsugasaki no matsu. Sho. Okay. Another story. So, you guys just heard this pronunciation, right? Listen again. Matsugasaki no matsu. Sho. That's a really long word to remember this kanji, right? Matsugasaki no matsu. But Matsugasaki was the name of the station that I lived near when I was living in Japan. So I don't know what the hell Matsugasaki means. It's probably like a name or something. But I know that this matsu comes from that kanji and has a personal connection for me. So the ability to remember that word or the kanji is way stronger for me now. The word itself just means pine tree, I guess, which is whatever. Kitsu, kichi, yoshi. Okay, this means good luck. Okay. Matsugasaki no matsu. Sho. Pine tree. All right. So now we are done with reviewing. And so now we're going to go and actually learn some new kanji. So I'm going to go ahead and hide this Anki screen on y'all's screen. And now we're going to use this new website I found, Kanshudo, to study new characters. I highly recommend it. I just found it like last week. It's free and there's a paid version with more features. I'm using just the free one right now. And if I come across features that I like that I can't use, I'm definitely going to pay for it because so far it's already been super worth it. So just to give a quick overview again to y'all, I'm studying all the N1 kanji, and my point of reference are the quote unquote Joyo kanji, which are the 2,136 common kanji needed to be able to function successfully and read newspapers and all that stuff in Japanese. There are more kanji for sure, but these are the main ones that you need for. I feel like if you have these 2,100 memorized, you'll be good to pass the N1 exam. I know technically they go up to like way more obscure kanji, but by that point, unless you're trying to get a 100, I don't think it matters. But yeah, so that's how I'm learning. So since January of last year, of 2020, I have managed to learn these kanjis down to JLPT N5, N4, N3, 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 N2, and up to here. So I've learned it all the way up to here. Now my goal is to learn the rest of these N1, which are supposed to be 1,136 more kanji. And I like to study 6 characters a day. And of course, there are times when I can't study because I don't have time, or I'm just too exhausted, and I feel like I'm not learning quite quick enough. So I might take a couple days off from studying new kanji and I just review. But if there are 1,136 kanjis left, right? And I study kanji, and I study 6 per day. Theoretically, it's going to take me 189.3, so about 190 days. Which is what? How many months is that? That doesn't sound right. 190 divided by 30. That is about 6.5 months. Okay? Theoretically, in the 6.5 months, I will have learned the remaining 1,133 kanji, 1,136 kanji, and I'll be kanji ready for the N1 exam. But I'm sure there's going to be days I take off. I'm sure there's going to be stuff that happens. So, giving myself a conservative estimate, I'm giving myself a target of, let's say 8 months. 8 months. Now, again, I'm not just learning how to read. If it was just reading, I'm sure I could breeze through it like in 3 months. But I'm trying to learn the way to write it, the stroke orders, everything. So that's why I'm giving myself this target. 8 months is my goal. And I guess that would put me at, like I'm in May right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, damn. Okay. So theoretically, accounting for about a month and a half of just dicking around, by January 2022, I should be kanji ready, not just being able to read, but write. Let's see what the hell happens. We don't know. We're going to keep grinding, though, and we're going to keep practicing and trying. And because we have nothing better to do with our lives. At least that's my situation. Yeah. And especially now, I'm really excited. I have my last final for my MBA tomorrow. And then I'm officially graduating. I'm graduating with my MBA on Saturday. And so I'll have way more time to be able to focus strictly on Japanese. Because until now, I've been focusing with full-time work, full-time graduate school, as well as daily kanji studying. And so that didn't allow me as much time to really kind of drill kanji into my brain. But now I'll be able to just purely focus on Japanese. So expect more different types of streams. Like right now I'm doing kanji only. I might start introducing like grammar streams and live interview streams and stuff like that with other Japanese people. I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, let's get on to it. So we stopped at Matsu yesterday. So today's kanji are this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so these are the 6 kanji that we're going to learn today. Yeah, let's get to it. And actually, I've seen a lot of these before. I know this is like obo no o or on no o, which means like to cheer on, to support. And this is why I like this website, by the way, guys. Check this out. So, you've got the readings, onyomi and kunyomi. Kunyomi are like the Japan-rooted meanings. Onyomis are the Chinese-rooted pronunciations. So, o is like on, which I just talked about, right? To cheer, to support. And then this is what I like about this website, too. It'll tell you how many words from the 10,000 most useful Japanese words, how many words use this pronunciation versus another one. So, for example, o is used in 236 words. No is used in 72 words. And then as the words get less, you'll see like, oh, okay, the importance of learning that pronunciation becomes less and less. You still want to go for it, I think, which we'll do. But yeah, so we're going to focus on o, no, and then kotaeru. But let's practice it. And then you can just, boom, see the stroke order. And I talked about this in the stream yesterday as well. This is the importance of learning about being strict on yourself with stroke order, especially in the beginning. Because once your brain and hand kind of get used to writing kanji, 9 out of 10 times you'll be able to look at a character and know how to write it. Because there are patterns. There are, as crazy as kanji may seem, there are patterns in the way you write them. And so the more focused you are on making sure in the beginning, right, build a good foundation, you'll be able to know, like, okay, obo, that's the way it looks, so it's probably written like top line, horizontal line across, then a heart. And if we animate it, horizontal, down, and then a heart. And guess what? The farther you get into the game, the easier it becomes to start practicing writing. Because now I don't have to worry about, like, how do I write this kanji? Like, what are the, I'll have to worry, of course, how to memorize what the stroke order is, in the sense that, like, what the kanji looks like. But if I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it is. I can just go, boom, write it real quick. And honestly, that helps so much, man. Like, I can't express to you guys how important it is. So it's a pain in the butt in the beginning, but you will be really glad you did it once you're in like the N1 levels, and the last thing you want to worry about is trying to memorize the stroke order, in the sense that, like, I don't know how to write it. You know what I'm saying? Your focus will be what the kanji looks like. And if you remember, oh, it looks like that, your hand will naturally move and write it, as opposed to, like, and by the way, I'm writing really ugly right now, so I apologize. James, if you're still here, this is what I was talking about. Like, when I'm learning new kanji, I like to write them repetitively, or I like to repeatedly write them for 3 lines on the iPad. If I'm using a notebook, I like to write on a college rule notebook 2 lines worth of the kanji, and that helps, like, start building that kind of muscle memory, right? So yeah, that's that. We're not worrying about the readings right now, because we'll worry about that when we're going to build a flashcard. So the first thing we do is practice stroke order. Okay, what is this? This means, oh, this is miru si, like, so this is interesting. So, there's a kanji miru in Japanese, which means this. And that means to, like, look, right? To look. Like, look at someone, mite. This miru is to look at something in an observing type of way. For example, like a TV or something. Isn't that weird? The first time I saw that, I was like, oh, that's so weird. And I said that to somebody in Japan, and I was like, man, it's so confusing how you guys have kanji for, like, looking at someone and then looking at, like, a TV. Why are they different? He's like, why do you guys have words like see, look, and watch? And I was just like, you got me there, man. You definitely got me there. Why do we have 3 different words to talk about what we're saying? So after the questions like that, I just stopped questioning Japanese, because I'm like, English is a million times worse when it comes to inconsistencies and randomness. So I was like, you know what? Let's just live with it. So only got to look at it once, and now we know that it's going to be this. Alright, so now we're done with that one. Moving on to the next one. Ooh, there's a lot going on here, huh? 14 strokes on this bad boy. Tai, wazato. Tai? Why does this have a... Okay. Let's write it. Oh, so this is interesting. This part, the top half, is literally just no atau, like the ability. It means ability. So this kanji is literally just ability over heart. Oh, and that's what the components say. Interesting. Ability over heart. So now that I'm thinking of it that way, ability over heart, I can immediately know how to write it. Damn. The pieces are all falling together, guys. And it is ugly. I will definitely admit to that. But right now, honestly, the goal is just to get through it. And I know this isn't the most interesting content, guys, so I really appreciate y'all sticking through, watching whenever you have a chance. And honestly, if you guys, if you guys are studying along, that would be awesome. And that would be literally the reason why I made this, is because I was studying for so long just by myself. I figured, I remembered, it's so hard to sit down and start studying, especially when you don't have like a study buddy or something. So the goal when I started streaming this, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get an iPad, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, is because I was like, A, I have a YouTube channel that I haven't touched like in years, and then B, it's like, I know how hard it is to put your butt down on the chair and start to study. I was like, if on a consistent, timely basis, people, know like, oh, if I want to study, that dude is streaming, that can be my like little kick in the butt to actually sit down and start studying. Join the stream, start studying. So if this helps anybody, like literally even one person start to study Japanese, like the goal of what my goal for this channel or these streaming sessions would be complete. I am kind of confused though, real quick, something I want to check. So I have this really cool extension installed on Chrome called what was it called again? Raku something? Rikai-kun. Rikai-kun. Rikai means understand. Kun is like, Japan, like would be like, something like your name kun, right? It says Rikai-kun, and this allows you to hover over any Japanese character with your cursor, and it'll just, boom, give you readings. For some reason, this kanji is giving me this word zama. And that is not on this page. I'm going to trust this page over Rikaikon. But just to be safe, I'm going to also look up this word in Jisho. Jisho is like the ultimate in... We're going to write down literally every possible meaning of the word. So if it's not on here, then I won't even consider it. And it's not. Look at this. So Rikaikon was kind of tripping. So I'm going to stick with tai and wazato. All right. So, and we know that according to Kanshudo, tai is the most common pronunciation with 239. We'll learn wazato anyways as well. All right, moving on to the next one. I know this one as well, just from seeing. This means like sugata, like shape or, appearance. But it also means she. Okay. So I knew just this. This is the advantage of sitting down and actually studying, as opposed to just kind of my philosophy when I was in Japan was I was like, you know what? I'm living in Japan. I'll learn just by exposure. And I did. I definitely did learn how to read and stuff like that via exposure. But if you study that way, it's like incomplete, right? I will know that this kanji means sugata, but I won't know that it can also be read as she. So that's the advantage of sitting down and actually studying, is you'll get the full complete picture. So we see that she is actually only in 24 words. Sugata appears at 39, and that just means you'll see this a lot. You'll see sugata a lot. But let's practice. So this kanji, if I break it down with my little I know how to write stuff methodology, this has a kanji for sugi, which is next at the top, and onna, which means woman, at the bottom. Look at this. Dude, I really like this website. Components, next, and woman. And we already learned how to write these at like the N4 level. And so now we just know next and woman. Boom, I know how to write sugata now. All right, sugi, and just to make sure I'm looking at the stroke order here. Every once in a while, remember I said 9 out of 10 times you'll know how to write the kanji. Every once in a while, I'll come across this kanji. It gives me like a kick in the balls, because I'm just like, you see it, and you expect it to be written a certain way, and then it's just not, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, this goes against the very nature of writing style I've established in my brains, and weirdly enough, that in its own strange way helps you remember that kanji even more. Now, see, components of this kanji are super simple. It just has white and then king at the top. Ko, o, oji, o, me. A lot of readings here. The thing is I know it says oji and o, but realistically, o is written just like that. So let's see what words there are. Ko, koshitsu, imperial household. Oji, imperial. Oh, okay. So this is used for prince. Interesting. Oji. Mi is literally used in one word out of 10,000. So we know that it's not that big of a deal. Oh, and look at this. Emperor is, and the word for emperor is tenno. And this kanji has a non-standard reading of no. And that's specifically for the word tenno, which is a pretty common word. Tenno is a common word. So I'm going to specifically write this down as an example word in the flashcard that I make. But anyways, let's go ahead and practice a stroke order for this bad boy. So the way to remember it is just white over king. And just a good measure, I want to look at the animation. Boom. Good stuff. I'm going to focus on making the bottom line a little longer, though. I'm not sure if there are any, and this is not, doesn't have anything to do with Japan at all, But if there's any basketball fans, I gotta check the score real quick because I'm really interested to see what happens with the Lakers since they're getting mollywopped in the standings these days. So let's take a look. My God, they actually won. They beat the Kings, or not the Kings, the Knicks. Cool. Okay. Onwards we go. And I don't have the energy for this right now, but sometimes I will I will repeat the pronunciations of the words as I'm writing it down. So I'll be like ko, oh, ko, oh. But I don't want to drive you guys crazy, so I'm not gonna do that. Oh, by the way, this is the advantage of having a digital tablet, is I can just do this and not have to look at my disgustingness. You guys should see my notebook. One of these days I might actually just scan a page and put it up on the stream so you guys can laugh at me, because it's terrible. By the way, guys, in the stream, if you have any type of content, I stream every day, but my goal is to upload a video every single week as well. If there's anything you'd like to see a video about Japan related, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to consider it in my little backlog of videos that I'm like crafting. So I already have the topic for this week, so I'm always looking for more kind of topics and interest as to what people want to see. All right, and we are on the last one for the day, baby. We're almost there. Whew, okay, so this one has onyomi, ku, kyo, and gu, and then miya. I know miya because I see that that's when I lived in Kyoto. There was a lot of places, train stops, that had the miya kanji, like this kanji in there. So that kind of takes me back. But let's see what kind of words we're looking at. Kyuden, palace. Oh, and we actually learned den in N2, so now we're fully good with Kyuden. Okay, Kyuden. Gu. Oh, gu, huh? I want to... 42 words is a lot of words, and I need to see what other thing is gu. Togu, jingu, high status shinto. Jingu is how I'll learn it, because I remember in Kyoto, Kyoto is like a very historical town, right, in Japan. So a lot of references to shrines and blah, blah, blah are there. So Jingu is one of the locations, is one of the words that I would see to identify a location. So I'm going to use Jingu to remember the word gu. So we've got gu, we've got Q, and then we've got, I'm going to ignore these because one word, come on, and then kunaicho, 6 words. Is that worth it? It's too much. And then Mia. Mia's for sure I want to learn. But anyways, let's learn to write this bad boy. So we've got the top hat thing. Then we've got the little dude inside. Okay. So we've got the top hat and then dude on the inside. And actually, there's another kanji that I learned, I think, at the N3 level, and it was a itonamu, which means like business, like to conduct business. And that kanji, I'm going to write it in a different color. Look at this. This is what consistency and focusing on stroke order and all that stuff eventually gets you. That kanji is written like this. So literally the same thing, except this part is just a line on this one. So stroke order wise, I'm good. Like I know how to write this. I just got to remember that it's 1 dot as opposed to 3 dots. Easier said than done though, because I do mess up, just like anyone else would, I would say, a lot when I'm writing. And again, just to repeat, when I'm writing, practice writing, I really am not 100% focused, like not even close to 100% focused on how neat I'm making the kanji, Because right now, this is like literally like weightlifting for me. I am building muscle memory on the strokes of the kanji. As long as it somewhat resembles, I mean, not somewhat. As long as it resembles what the kanji looks like, I'm satisfied. And I will say this one thing again. I think James, not is it James? I can't remember if it was Will or James, but one of y'all were here when I talked about the difference in typeset when typed kanji looks different than handwritten kanji. That's why it's so important when you're learning kanji to make sure you follow a style that looks like this. And I'll show you what I mean here. I'll copy this. And Jisho gives you a good example of both of them, jisho.org. So if I post this kanji, it'll show me the top one, which is how it's typed, and the bottom one, which is the stroke order of the kanji. In this case, they look pretty much exactly the same, but you will come across kanji that literally look totally different. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. But anyways, I think we're done. We just learned the stroke orders for 6 different kanjis today. So now, the last step of the process is to make the flashcards in Anki. So I'm gonna hide my iPad, and I'm gonna bring up Anki. Build up Anki, and then I'm going to hit the add button. Nice. Okay. So now I'm going to start working on this deck, okay? I kind of don't need this one, so I'm going to hide this bad boy. Yes, all we need is this guy. Why do they use the thickest strokes on this stroke? I don't know. I really don't know, man. Those are some thick strokes, huh? You know, one thing I like about jisho.org though, compared to Kanshudo, is on Jisho I can adjust how fast or slow I want it to write. That's pretty neat, especially when you have one of those super complicated kanjis that just have like a million different things going on. That helps. But yeah, these are some thick brush strokes, man. They need to do something about that. But anyways, now we are in the process of building some new kanji cards. So we got to start writing. So I would just copy paste this, but the last time I did it, here I'll show you guys why I don't do it. The last time I did it, it carries over like the font. And I don't want to be inconsistent with my deck, so I'm just going to, I don't want to have to change the character each time, like, you know, reformat the font each time. So I just type out the word. Okay, and the pronunciations are O and Ojiru. Satisfy. Oen and Ojiru. Okay, and then I like to bring it to the front part of the card, and I like to record. There's a record button, and you're going to hear my recording voice. Here we go. O Ojiru. O Ojiru. Of course, I get an email literally the second I start recording. I have to redo that one. Hold on. Here we go. O Ojiru. O Ojiru. Like that, and we add. So again, the goal should be for the example words as my 3 priority thing that I talked about, right? Priority number 1, a word that you have a memory connection with. Priority number 2, a word that you know. Priority number 3, any other word. But you have to have a word to remember the kanji for the best memory association. So remember, this kanji is read as miru, right? So it's going to appear like this first, which is that first miru I talked about. Then it's going to appear as this, which is the kanko miru. And then it's going to appear as that. Shi. Honestly, it's literally just one word. Come on, man. Do I even need miru there? I'll write it just in case, but see. Let's see some words. I want to pick a word that, because I don't know jushi, but let's see what else I can find here that I'm comfortable with. Mushi. Oh, here's a good one. Mushi suru. To ignore. I'll use that word. Dude, my keyboard is being a weirdo. Come on, select it. Mushi. And just to good measure, I'll put ignore. And we'll just ignore miru for now because that's just a regular word. We know what that means. Shi, miru. Shi, miru. Alright, next card. It's going to be this guy. What is it? Tai. Tai, wazato. So, this is something I just noticed late last night on Kanshudo, is that it has the common readings, right? The onyomi and kunyomi, and these are the ones you want to focus on mainly. But it has additional readings. I don't know if they're as important, because if you look down, wazato appears literally 3 times. And waza. Dude, but I know wazato's a real word for sure, because oh, but look at this. It tells you often written in kana, which means just like random, just hiragana by itself. That's why I was like, dude, why the hell have I not seen this kanji before? Because wazato, the word, means like purposefully, like on purpose. But whenever I'm texting in Japanese or whatever, it's always written in hiragana. So that's interesting. It's still gonna be cool, I think, to learn the kanji for wazato. So let's make that part of our recording. So here we go. Wazato. And we know that the pronunciations are tai, wazato, condition. And what is a word with tai? Oh, here's a good word. Jotai. Jotai means like condition of something, like jokyo is another word that means condition. Jotai is also a word that means condition. They're kind of the same. So let's just put current status here. And then wazato. And this means on purpose. And it was recorded as tai, wazato. Tai, wazato. And I'm being like weirdly enunciating the words. I don't know. I feel like it just helps like drive the sounds in my brain. So when I'm trying to recall the word, I'm like, oh, it's that one, as opposed to just mumbling it. That might be just me kind of overthinking things, but that's how I like to do it. Sugata. Shi sugata. This means appearance. And FYI, I'm getting the meaning from appearance. In the top left. Okay. So shi. What is shitai? It's only 24 words with shi. Let's see if I can find something good. Yoshi, te shise, shitai, shise. Ugh, none of these words really kind of resonate with me. And in that case, I'm gonna have to default to my priority 3. Just write down a word, because although it's the hardest option, hey, I'm learning a new word in the process. And I actually learned this too. This kanji on the right hand side is seiryoku, which means power or influence. And so this word means, shise means attitude, approach. And then just sugata, which means shape and appearance. And then we're going to record shi, sugata, shi, sugata. Alright, next word. We got this guy. And we learned, so the pronunciations are, it has no kunyomi. It's just onyomi. Again, which are the Chinese pronunciations. See? On readings are based on the original Chinese pronunciation. Ko and o. And then I know this is o. Oji-san. Oji. Ko o. And this means emperor. Ko would be koshitsu. Imperial. There's got to be a better word than that, man. That's a tough one. Kote, koshitsu, kotaishi. These are all crown. I guess that makes sense. Crown related words. None of these words are part of my regular vocabulary, so I'm just gonna stick with the whatever I see, which is koshitsu. Shitsu. This means imperial household. Oji. Prince. I'm gonna ignore me because honestly, who cares? If this appears, you'll probably have the furigana, which is like the little itty bitty hiragana at the top of it in the book, anyways. And then I'm gonna write this because tenno is an actual word that is quite common in the Japanese. I mean, because the emperor exists, right? So, and it's gonna be written as this tenno emperor. So I'm not gonna learn no by itself because that would mean learning a pronunciation for literally one word. In this case, my goal is just to be able to look at these two kanji together and immediately know, okay, this means tenno, emperor. So here we go. And oh, by the way, another little trick that I do is when I'm recording, because like look at the pronunciations here. We're gonna learn ko and o. These sounds are so common in the Japanese language. There's nothing here that's telling me like, oh, ko o, that means emperor. You know what I'm saying? There's no like unique sound to this set of words. So in this case, I like to use a word example in the recording for at least one of the pronunciations. And in this case, I'm going to use the word that I know, which is oji, which is prince. And then I'll say oji no o, ko. And that's going to help me remember specifically this one. So here we go. Oji no o, ko. Oji no o, ko. We got that one. And finally, last one of the day, baby. We're almost done. This one is Kukyumiya. Q-gu-miya. And this means palace. And I'm kind of just being random with it as far as which three pronunciations I'm choosing, because this has ku, q, gu, miya. But if I look here, q is used 64 times, gu is used 42 times, ku is used 6 times, ku is used 1 time. So I'm not going to waste my energy on these two pronunciations. I will, however, use this one because it has 37. So we're going to focus on the ones that have the most words to help us be able to read. If we come across instances where it uses very uncommon readings, more often than not, they will just have the furigana on there like I mentioned earlier. So anyways, what words can we use here? We got Q. We'll use the one that's appearing here, Q den, because I actually learned den, and this just means palace. Then we got gu appears so many times, but these are all very religious-y words. Jingu. Oh yeah, we're gonna do jingu, right? Which means high status Shinto shrine. And then finally, and I'm gonna use a location here because in my priority list, the emotional connection one is a number 1, memory and emotional connection. So Sannomiya. This is a place in the Hyogo prefecture. So here we go. Q, gu, miya. Q, gu, miya. And we are done. We're done. that's it. So what I like to do to wrap it all up, one last time for good measure, is I like to pop the iPad up, and I like to write all these kanjis one more time, just as a nice little wrap up, and then we'll be good to go. So today's kanjis are miru, then we've got this guy, then we've got sugata, then we've got this guy, then we've got, oh, I forgot the first one, Oppo no O. The last one is Mia. Whew, all right. Long session, almost 2 hours, but we finally made it. We are at the end. I really appreciate everyone that tuned in to watch, stuck around all the way to the end. It's a long time, but this is the grind. We're going to grind like this every single day to get to that level, right? The level that we're trying to get to. But I'll be back again tomorrow. Yeah, I'll still be able to do 10:30 tomorrow, because 10:30 Central Time tomorrow, because I have my final exam. But I'm just gonna wrap that up. It shouldn't be that long. I literally have to get like a 70 on that test to get an A, so I'm doing okay. So I'm just gonna quickly wrap that up. We'll be back at 10:30 to continue on some more. And yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and we're gonna continue the marathon continues. When you said 2022, my mind still thought that was 2 years away. No, dude, isn't that crazy? Like, going back up here, I'm gonna scroll up. I know I just said goodbye, but you brought me back. That's 8 months away. What is life, man? Like, this is going way too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone take me off this ride. January 2022 is literally 8 months away. That's crazy. But yeah, that's it. That's the goal. We're aiming for January. My goal is actually to take the N2 exam in December. By that time, I should be able to ace it. So if I fail, I'm just gonna quit. But whatever. All right, James, thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow.